Hey YouTube, I'm Kishan, and in this video we are going to create this amazing portfolio website using React, Framer Motion and style components. So let me give you a demo of it. So here we have our navbar, then we have this home section here. After that we have the services section. Then we have this portfolio section. This is created by CSS Grid. Then we have this Milestones section. Then we have this blocks section. We have a video section. This is the pricing section. We have this testimonials section. This changes by clicking on the buttons. Then we have the skill section. This is the HTML progress bars. Then we have this contact section. Then we have this contact section. We have customized this form. And at the bottom we have our footer. Now when we click over this is scroll to top. It will scroll to the top of the page. Did you notice that there was also smooth animation when scrolling? Now whenever we click on any of this link, it will scroll to that section. You can see that. Also there are animation using Framer Motion. Now I will show you the responsive mode of the website. So this is the responsive mode. This is the mobile mode. Now we also have this responsive navbar. This also has the animation, and when we click on any of this link, it will close. You can see that animations are also working in the responsive mode. Let me increase the device size. This is the tablet mode. So without wasting any further time, let's get started to create this awesome portfolio website. So now I opened a new VS Code. I'll open a new terminal and I'll write npx create React app and the name of our React app, which is portfolio. This will set up our React application, and this may take time depending upon your network connection. So I'm pausing the video now. So React application has been successfully set up. Now let's install some dependencies by yarn add and the name of the dependencies, which are Framer Motion. Then we need React icons. Then we need style components. And we will need React intersection observer. Again, depending upon your network connection, this may take time. Now, inside the source directory, I have already copied the assets folder it contains the assets we need for the project, and you can find this directory in the description of the video. Now I'm just gonna delete some files. We don't need this, and we don't need this and this. Delete. Now inside the index.css, I'm gonna delete all the content and save it. Inside the index, I'm gonna delete this import and the call of that function. Save it. And inside the app.js, I'm gonna clear all of this and I'll write rfc, and inside this I'll write hello. Now let's start our React application and test it. Yarn start. Let's close this. Okay, so our React application is working perfect. Now what we'll do is we are gonna create a new directory called components, and we are gonna create some components. We will also create a new file in the root directory, which is animation.js. Also at the root of the project, we are gonna create an jsconfig.json file. So first we'll write the content inside this. We are gonna implement the absolute imports. We'll write compiler options, and the base URL for all the components would be the source directory, and we want to include the source directory. That's all. Save this, and we may need to restart our React app, so I'm gonna restart it. And now we'll close this animation.js and we'll create the components that we are gonna use. So first we will create the blog.jsx, then we need the contact.jsx, we'll have the footer.jsx, then we have the home.jsx, we have the milestones.jsx, we have the navbar.jsx, we have the portfolio.jsx, then we have the pricing.jsx, we have scroll to top.jsx, services.jsx, skills.jsx, testimonials.jsx, then we will have the title.jsx, we'll have the use scroll.jsx, we have the video.jsx. Okay, that's all. Now we are gonna create all the components. I'll just open and I'll write rfce. Let's copy this, save it, paste, save, rfce, save, rfce, save, rfce, save. Where we were, yeah, rfce, 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 we are not gonna write the RFCE into this use scroll. We will use this when we are implementing framer motion animations into the project. We'll leave that for now. Okay, that's all. So our components are created. Now let's head over to the app.js file, and here we will have this div, and inside this we will have the components in their order. We have the scroll to top, then we have home, we have services, we have the portfolio, the milestones, the blog, video, then we have the pricing, we have the testimonials, we have the skills, we have the contact, and at last we have the footer. So that's all. So we have written all the components. We just have to create those now. Now we'll also have this base styling inside the index.css. So here first we are gonna define some variables. First is the primary color, and that would have the hexadecimal purple shade. Then we have the secondary color, which is hexadecimal pinkish shade. And at the last we are gonna have an font family variable. I'll just comment this for now. Then we have the star selector, and we'll give margin padding to all the components to as 0, and we'll also have the box sizing to border box. Then for HTML we have scroll behavior of smooth, we have an height of 100%, then we will give overflow X of hidden, then we will have the body, and inside the body we are gonna give overflow X of hidden as well. And let's style the scroll bar as well. We'll write webkit scroll bar. The background color would be var primary color, and the width would be 0.3 rem. Now we'll style the webkit scroll bar thumb. The background color for it would be secondary color, and we are going to write a media query for the HTML. Media screen, and the min width would be 280 pixels, and max width would be 1080 pixels. Now we want our body to disable the scroll bar by display none. Okay, So that's all. Now we just have to import the fonts. So for that I'll write fonts.google.com. We will be using Poppins, and for Poppins we need the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700 and 800 as well. We are going to use this import, copy it, and at the start of our file we are going to paste it. Now we'll copy this. Okay, so I have also imported some other font which is EXO. I'm going to remove that import and replace with this. Copy this and we'll place this inside here as the font family variable. Now we are going to apply this by to the body and the button. So inside the body and to the button we are going to have the font family as the variable font family. Okay, that's all for the base setup. We'll now start the navbar of the application. Let's head over to the home.jsx. So the navbar would be inside the home.jsx component. So first we are gonna import home from assets, home.png. This would be the background of the home. Then we are gonna import play image from assets, play.png, and now we will import styled from style components and will create an section is equals to styled dot section. We'll replace this divs with the section, and inside the section we have our navbar. Now we'll also apply an ID to this section which is home, and inside this we are gonna write the background image as the URL $home. Yeah, that's perfect. Also we are going to write background size of cover, and we are going to supply the min height of 100 viewport height. We are going to give background repeat of no repeat, and the background position of center. Let's see that in browser. Let me refresh this. Okay, so the image is here. Now let's have the markup for the navbar. So head over to navbar.jsx. Now here we are gonna import the styled from style components. Then we need the logo from assets. Then we are gonna import some icons that we need for the responsive navbar, which is GI hamburger menu from React icons GI. Then we are gonna import MD close from React icons MD. Okay, that's all. Now let's create an style component. Const nav is equals to style dot nav. Now we are gonna also need the use state. Let's create a state for maintaining is the navbar open or close for the responsive mode. We are not going to create this now. We will create this when we are creating the responsive mode. We will just write it now. So initially the state would be false. Then let's replace this with nav. Now first we have a brand container div. Inside it we have an a tag with href as hashtag. Then we are gonna give it a class name of brand. Inside this we have our image, the logo image. Then after this e tag we have the div with a class name of toggle. So initially this won't have a content. We will have the content when we are designing the responsiveness. Now after this div we have an links div. Inside it we have the link. Save it, and now we are gonna copy this 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is services. This is portfolio. This is the blog. This is the skills. This one's for the contact. And we won't be needing this last one. We are gonna delete it. Okay, so our markup is completed. Now you can see that it is not styled currently. Let me switch it to the half and let's start the styling. So initially we'll apply flexbox to this. Then we are gonna justify content to center by space between. This has the space between now. Now we are gonna give a margin of left and right and the padding top of 2 rem. We are gonna give a color of white. The links would be white, but due to it has the a tag, the links are purple. We are gonna fix that. Now we'll select the brand container. It has a margin of left and right of 2 rem. Then the toggle div has display of none initially. Then we have the links. Inside the links we have the UL. First we'll give list style type of none to remove the bullets. Then we'll give it a color of white. This should be LI. No, this should be UL. Now we'll give it a display of flex, and we'll give a gap of 3 rem to have gap between all of them. Now we'll select the li, and inside the li we have the a, and we'll give it a color of white. The color is visible now, and we'll give it a text decoration of none. We might as well remove this color property because it's doing nothing. It's unusable code. Then we'll give it a font weight of bold. We'll give it a font size of 1.1 rem. Yeah, that's it. Now we are gonna have a different no, not different color. We are gonna have a line to this one. So let's have, yeah, we have the active class here. Okay, we are gonna remove the active class from every other li. And here we'll write active. Active has a border bottom of 0.2 rem solid of secondary color. This is 0.2 rem. Save it. Okay, why there isn't inside the UL we have the active. Inside the active we have the A. Let me refresh this. Active. Is the variable name right? Let's write primary color here. Okay, there is border, so we have missed with the variable name. Let's check it. What was the name of the variable? Okay, it's primary color, and in the secondary color we have made the mistake, I think. Yeah, this is the shade for the secondary color. Please fix that. Now heading over to the navbar. Yeah, so our navbar is complete. Now we'll design the home section. So now let's head over to the home.jsx. So after this we are gonna have a div with a class name of home. Then we have an content div inside that. Inside that we have a div with a class name of title. We gonna write h1 with digital crafters, and we have the subtitle. The subtitle is going to be copied from here. This would be inside the p tag. So after the subtitle we'll have an image of play. The text should be play button. After this we have an div with an info. So inside this we have class name with grid. Then we have call. Inside this we have strong, and we have the p tag. Save this. We are gonna copy this, and we are gonna paste it 5 times. Copy from call 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now we are gonna write the text inside this. I'm gonna just copy from here. this would be inside another p tag, so it would come in second line. So yeah, that's the content, and now it's complete. The markup is complete. We have to style this. I'm gonna shrink this. Now inside here, first we are gonna write position of relative, then we have home, we'll give it a height of 100%, then we'll have the content, which will have the height of 100% as well. Then we have a color of white to the content. Then we are gonna give it a display of flex. Then we'll give it a flex direction of column. We'll give it a align items of center. Sorry, the align items would be flex start, and we are gonna give it a gap of 1.2 rem. We'll give it a margin top of 8 rem and a padding of left of 18 rem. Then we'll give the width of 60%. We'll select the title, select the H1 inside it. We'll give it a font size of 5 rem, give it a line height of 5.3 rem. We'll select the subtitle, select the P, and we'll give it a width of 70%. Also we'll give it a margin bottom of 2 rem. Okay, so that is complete. We have to have this now info, so I'll switch this to this side, and after this content I'll write the info, give it a position of absolute, a bottom of -6 rem, and a right of 0. It didn't applied. Okay, I think this would be outside of this div. Yeah, it's working now. Now we'll give it a background color of the secondary color. Then we'll give it a color of white. We'll give it a padding of 4 rem. We'll select the grid, give it a display of grid, a grid template columns of repeat. So now we'll have repeat 1FR. Yeah. Also we'll give it a gap of 4 rem. Yeah, that's it. So our home section is completed. Now we'll create the services section. In the home section we are gonna copy this play button, this child and all, so we don't have to write it again. We'll head over to the services. I'll paste it here, and here instead of this we are gonna write service 1, I'm gonna copy this and paste it, and I'll replace this with service 2 and service 3. Now before proceeding further, we will create the title. So let's just create the title first. We'll import the style from style components. Then we have const div is equals to style dot div. This is div. We are gonna pass value as a prop, and inside this we have an h1, and the h1 has the value. So I'm not going to style it now, we'll style it afterwards. So inside these services, yeah, we are going to create a style component. We are going to replace this with that. Now we'll create a data array, which is an array of objects. The type would be design. Text would be copied from here. Then we have the image, which is service 1. That's all. Now we are gonna copy this and paste it 2 times. Here this would be code and service 2. Here it would be support and service 3. We're going to copy this content. Copy this and yeah, that's it. Now we'll write the markup. So this is gonna have an ID of services. Then inside this we have the title component. And the value prop would be services. Then after this we have a class name with services, div with a class name with services. We are gonna render JSX. We'll destructure the type, text and the image, and this should be inside the curly braces, and we are gonna use the index, and we are gonna return the JSX markup. First we have a div with services service. Then inside this I'll just copy this, have another class name with image. We have the image, source as image, and here we'll write the service, save it. So after this div we have the services service title. Inside the title we have span, we have index plus 1, and we'll also write in 0 here. After that we have an h2 and it would have the content as type. After that we have an p with services service description. It has the text, and after this we have the play button, which is mgsrc play. Save it. Let's see the content. Yeah, the content is here. We'll just need to style this now. So now in the style.section, first we'll give it the min height of 100 viewport height. Then we'll select the services. We'll give it a display of grid and a grid template columns of 31FR. We'll align items of center, height of 100%. Then we'll give it a margin of left and right of 14 rem. Then we'll give it a margin top of 10 rem. We'll give it a gap of 5 rem. Now we'll select the service. We'll give it a padding of 2 rem. Now we are gonna select the nth of type, the third one. We are gonna give it a background color of primary color, which is the purple color. Primary color. Let me see if it's working. Okay, so background color where primary color. Let me change the color to some other color. Okay, so we have issues with our where primary color. Okay, we have double dash here. Okay, the color is there. Then we have the service title. We'll select the span and give it a color of white. Then we'll select the services, service description, and also give it a color of white. Now we'll select the image, give it a margin bottom of 3 rem. Select the title, select the span inside, give it a color of where primary color. Primary color. Okay, it's working. Then we'll have the font weight as bolder. Then we'll select the H2, give it a font size of 3 rem, line height of 2.5 rem. We'll give it a margin bottom of 5 rem. Also we'll give it a color of where secondary color. Yeah, it's okay. Then we'll select the description. We'll give it a primary color. We'll copy this from here, paste it. Also give it a margin bottom of 2 rem. Yeah, that's it. So our services section is also styled and complete. You can see that. We have to style this title. We forgot about that. So let's head over to title. Here we'll give it a position of relative. We'll select the H1 and give it a position of absolute. We'll transform it. We'll give it a translate X of -47%, a translate Y of 20 viewport width, and a rotate of -90 degree. Now we are going to give it a font size of 7 rem. Then we'll give it a text transform of uppercase. We'll give it a color of where secondary color. Okay, we've missed. It would be color where secondary color. And we are going to reduce the font weight to 100. That's it. Okay, so our services section is complete now. Now we are going to do the portfolio section. So now let's head over to the portfolio.jsx. I'm going to import the style from style components. I'll create a section is equals to style.section. Replace with this, and this would have the portfolio. Now we are gonna import some assets. First would be placeholder. From assets, placeholder.png, save it, copy, paste it. Now here this would be load more. Then this would be portfolio 1, and this would be portfolio 2. Okay, that's it. Now let's write the markup. We have title. It has the value as portfolio. Then we have this background. Inside this we have imgsrc, portfolio 1. This is design, and this has the class name as design 1. Copy this, paste this, just change this to design 2 and this to portfolio 2. Save it. After this we have portfolio title. Here we'll write our works. Then we have h2, which says check cover super. awesome portfolio. Save it. Then we have grid. Inside the grid we have child 1 grid box. Save it. And inside this we are gonna have the placeholder image, placeholder, and the alt text would be placeholder. Save it. And we are gonna copy this 7 times, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now we are just gonna change this class name to the numbers 2. This would be 2. This would be 3. This would be 4. This would be 5. This would be 6, 7, and we need a more, which would be 8. So after this we are gonna have another div with class name of portfolio more. Inside this we have an span tag which would have text as load more, and after this we have an image which has the source as load more. The alt text would be load more. Save it. Okay, we have error. This would be okay. Here we have to write styled. Yeah, our content is here. Let's style this. So I'll just minimize this. We'll have min height of 100 viewport height. Then we'll have padding of 2 rem and 0. Background color of secondary color. Then we'll select the background, give it a position of relative. We'll select the design one, give it a position of absolute, z index of 1. We'll give it a right of 8% and a top of 0. Then we'll select the design 2. We'll copy all of this, paste it, and here instead of right we have the left, which would be 0, and the top would be 30 rem. That's it. We'll also provide a height of 40 rem. Yeah, that's it. Now let's select the side title, select the z index as 2. The h1 would have color as white. We'll fix this afterwards. Now let's head over to portfolio title. We'll give it a margin of 6 rem to top and bottom and 15 rem to left and right. Then we'll select the P and we'll provide the color as the primary color. Text transform would be uppercase and a letter spacing of 0.2 rem. Now we'll select the H2, give it a color of white, font size of 2 rem. That's it. Now let's select the grid. We'll give it a padding of 0 and 15 rem. Then we'll give it a display of grid template columns of repeat 4 and 1 FR. Then we have grid template areas, grid template areas. We'll comment this for now, and we'll have the grid box now. Inside the grid box, we'll just define the grid area. So we'll write nth of type, grid area would be 1. I'll copy this, paste it 7 times, and change this to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the grid template areas which we commented, will write it now. The first row would have 1 1 2 2, second would have 1 1 3 4, the third would have 5 6 7 7, and the last one would have 8 6 7 7. So the layout is not looking perfect as of now. We'll improve it further. We'll give it the height of 15 rem, a width of 100%, background color of primary color, display flex, justify content center, line item center, and a cursor of pointer. Yeah. So we have some issue in the grid. Let's fix it. First, let's apply image transition. Transition would have 0.4 seconds is in out, and when we hover over this, we want the image to transform scale 1.2. Okay, that's working. Now we'll have here the height 100%. Also we'll give it a background color of hexadecimal 8860E66A. Let's just give it a Z index of 10 also. Yeah. copy this, and we are gonna have height 100% here, and on the 7th as well, height 100%. So we messed something out. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we have this extra, I think we need to remove that. One, two, okay, we have repeated two. Yeah, the layout is perfect now. Let's change the colors. So for the second one, we are gonna give it a Z index of 10 and the background color of hexadecimal 662D91CA. For the third one, we are gonna give it a background color of hexadecimal 8860E6B0. Then for the fourth one, we are not going to change the color, and for the fifth one, we are going to give it a Z index of 10, and the background color would be this one. Then for sixth, we are going to copy this color and give it here. Then for seventh, we are gonna give it a new background color, which is hexadecimal 8860E66A. That's all. And for the eighth, we are not gonna change the color, but we are gonna give it a Z index of 10, so it would be on top of this. Yeah, awesome. Now we have to style this portfolio more. After the 3 here, we'll write portfolio more, give it a display of flex direction of column, align items of center, justify content of center, gap of 1 rem, margin of 4 rem, select the span, give it a color of white, letter spacing of 0.1 rem, text transform of uppercase. Yeah, that's it. Now we just have to fix this title. Okay, it's here, but the styles are not applying. Let's check what class name would give it. Okay, so there is no class name here. We need to provide a class name here, which is site title. So I'll write it, class name is equals to site title. Yeah, so the title is here and our portfolio section is completed. Now we'll create the blocks section. Head over to VS Code. Creating the block section, we are going to create the milestones section. So let's head over to milestones, and here we'll first import the image and the style components. Yeah, so let's head over to portfolio and copy that. We'll copy the placeholder, paste it. Its name is milestone 1. This is milestone 2, milestone 3. Then we have this milestone background. This is milestone background. And we are gonna need the style. Section is equals to style dot section. We'll replace this with section. We'll create an array of object. First it would have image, which would be milestone 1. Then we have data, which would be clients served. Then we have amount, which would be 407. This would be string. Copy this, paste it 2 times. Now we are gonna change this image to milestone 2 and milestone 3, and here we write of raw data. This would be 10 trillion. Then we have the recommendation, which would be 235. Now we'll write the markup. We have a div with a class name of background. We have image. Source would be milestone background. Then we have milestones. We are gonna map the milestone let's restructure it. We have the image, data, and amount. The arrow function will return the JSX. We have P with data, image with image, this would be not the data, but this would be amount, and the span tag will hold the data. This would be inside the curly braces. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So our markup is complete. We just need to style it. So now we'll give it a height of 100 viewport height. Then we'll give it a background color of primary color. We'll give it a padding of 10 rem to left and right. We'll give it a position of relative and an overflow of hidden. Select the background, give it a position of absolute, left of 0, bottom would be minus 30%, and we are gonna change the height of the image to 43 rem, and we'll also give it a z index of 2. Now let's select the milestones, give it a display grid template columns, of repeat 3 1fr. So this would be inside the brackets. Now we'll give it a color of white, align items of center, height of 100%. We'll select the milestone and give it a z index of 3, and we'll give it a display of flex direction of column, align items of center, and justify content of center. We'll also provide gap of 2 rem. Select the P inside that. We'll give it a font size of 5 rem, font weight of bolder. Then we'll select line height to 3 rem. Select the span, text transform of uppercase. Color would be hashtag FF C7. Image height would be 6 rem. Yeah, so that's it. So our milestone section is also styled. Now we are going to create this block section. So before heading over to the block.jsx, we are going to copy this image and this style component import. Now let's head over to the block.jsx, paste it here. This would change to the placeholder. We'll paste it here, copy this, paste it, and we are also gonna import play.png. Yeah, that's all. Now let's create a style section. Replace it with this, and we are gonna give it a ID of blogs. This would be blog, not blogs. Then we are gonna have the blogs data. Blogs data is equals to array. This would be an object with title. Type would be adventure, and description would be string. Description, yeah, this would be a string also. Adventure, we are gonna copy this object, paste it 2 times. This would be personal, and this would be music. Let's copy the data. Okay, so our data object is ready. Now let's write the markup. First we have the title. It would have the value as blog. So this would be value would be blogs, no blog. Then we have the decoration, we have the blogs. Inside the blogs we are going to map the data of blogs data dot map title, type and description. Will return the JSX markup. Inside the blog we have an image. Image would have the placeholder. We did a mistake here. What is that? Okay, this should be inside this, and okay, that's perfect now. After this we have the title div, which has an h3 of title. Then we have an type. This would be span dot type, and the content would be type. Okay, the emit will not work. Right, type, save it. Then we have description. It would be inside the P. Then we have the more. It would have image of more. No, it would be play. Here the span would have read more. Okay, so it is complete and we just have to write a curly braces here. Okay, that's done. Let's check it. Okay, so our markup is here. We just have to style it now. So let me split the screen. Okay, so now I'll style it. We'll have a min height of 100 viewport height. Then we'll have a position of relative. We'll have decoration. Decoration have position of absolute, height of 20 rem, width of 70 viewport width, and a border of 0.5 rem solid, where secondary color. Okay, so the decoration is here. Then we'll give it a left of 15%, top of -2 rem. Now let's select the blogs. Let's give it a display of grid template columns of repeat 3 1fr. Then we'll give it a gap of 3 rem. We'll give it a margin of 5 rem and 20 rem. We'll select the blog, give it a display of flex direction of column. Then we'll give it a gap of 1 rem. Then we'll select the image, give it a height of 22 rem. Height 22 rem. Okay, so image is not rendering, we have to check it. We'll give it a background color of A686 F0AF. Okay, so image is here, but it was of white color, so it was not displaying. We'll give it a display of flex, justify content center, align items center. Okay, image is proper. Now we'll select the title, select the H3 and give it a color of where secondary color. Then we'll give it a font size of 2 rem. Now let's select the type. We'll give it a color of where primary color. Give it a font size of 2 rem. This would be inside the H3. No, it won't be inside an H3 because the type is a span. We just have to give it a color, font weight of bolder and a text transform of uppercase. Yeah, that's all. Now we'll select the description, give it a fixed height of 10 rem and give it a color of where primary color. That's it. Now we'll select the more, give it a display of flex, align items of center, gap 1 rem. We'll select cursor pointer, select the span, letter spacing of 0.1 rem. Give it a text transform of uppercase and the color. I think I should copy the color, primary color from here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So our blog section is also styled. Now we will have this video section. Let's head over to the VS Code. Let's head over to the video.jsx. Here first we'll import the styled. Then we need to import video1 from assets, video1.png. We'll copy this, paste it, and we'll change this to video2. Now let's create an styled component. Const section is equals to style.section. Replace this divs with section. I'll go to portfolio.jsx and I'm just gonna copy the markup, this one. Head over to video.jsx, paste it, and I'll change this to video. Then we have a div with a class name of video and we are gonna have the iframe code which would be copied from here. We'll right click and copy embed code, paste it, save it, and here we just have to make some changes. We'll replace this with allow full screen, and this would be, we just have to capitalize this B. Then yeah, that's pretty much it. So our markup is completed. We'll have to style it. Now first we'll give it a background color of hexadecimal 662D91AA. Then we'll give it the height of 100 viewport height. Then we'll give it a display of flex, justify content center, align item center, and we'll give it a position of relative and an overflow of hidden. Then we are gonna select the video. First the video would have the Z index of 10. Then we'll select the background, design 1, give it a position of absolute, left of 0, bottom of -8 rem, and a width of 18 rem. Copy this, paste it, and rename this to design 2, and we are gonna remove this width, and instead of left we'll write right to 5 rem, and this would be 3 rem, but this would be top instead of bottom. Yeah, that's it. So okay, so our video section is also complete. Now we will have this pricing section. So let's head over to the pricing.jsx. Here we'll import the styled, then we'll import the play button, play image, play from assets, play.png. Then we'll replace this with pricing 1 and this with pricing 2. Okay, that's it. Now let's create the style component. Const section is equals to styled dot section. Replace this divs with section. Now let's create plans for the pricing. Name basic, price would be 9. Copy this, this would be pro, price would be 29. This would be expert, price would be 49. Save it. We'll also create another array of objects which would be data. So I'll head over here and I'll just copy this, paste it, and I'll select this by Alt and click. This would be strings, property would be value, inside the object, comma, then we have type, which would be basic. Okay, we have an error. We'll remove this object. Yeah, now for the this two, this have the pro and this has the expert. Okay, so our data is complete. Now let's have the markup. First we have the title. Title would have value as pricing. Then we have background. Let's copy that from portfolio. Replace this with pricing 1, pricing 2. This would be BG1 and BG2. BG1, BG2. Then we have pricing title. Find your pricing plan. We have H2 with pretty stories for which there is little good evidence. After this, we have a div with pricing. We'll map our plans. We have name and price. Then we'll need the index. We'll return the markup. This would be div with a class name of pricing plan. Inside it, we have pricing plan name, h2 name. Then we have pricing plan name price. This would be span, this would be dollar, this would be p, inside it would be price. This would be pricing plan content, ul with class name of pricing plan content, features. This would be backticks because we are gonna interpolate it with variable. Here we'll have the name as the plan name as a class. Then inside this ul we are gonna map the data.map. We need the value and the type, and we will also need the index. Okay, we'll return a fragment. This would be index 2, and we forgot to have the key as index here. We'll apply key as index 2. Inside the fragment, we'll check if name is equal to basic. If it's basic and the type triple equals to name, which is basic, then we are gonna return and li with value, else we would return li with a class name of line which would have a strike through. This also has the value, and after this we have name triple equals to pro, then we'll have type triple equals to basic check, or type triple equals to name, then we'll return the li with the value, or we'll check if this would be li with a class name of line. If this is not able to understand, I will explain you after this has been written. Value, and after this li will have we'll again check if name triple equals to export and end, we'll have the so I have written it. Now what we are doing here is we'll check if the name triple equals to basic. If it is basic, then again we will check that if it is equal to the name of this one, this outer array, and if it is that, then we will print the value. If it is not, then it would be pro or expert, then we will have the strike through here. So we have added the class name, so we have that strike through. Now if it is not basic and if it is pro, and if it's pro but inside the starting ones are basic, then again we'll check that and render the value as follows. So it is very simple. Then after this we have an pricing plan, content, actions. We'll have the span of order now, then we'll have image would have source as play, and L text would be order now. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Our markup is ready. Let's style this. Let me shrink this. Okay, so now first we'll give it the min height of 100 viewport height, then we'll give it a padding of 5rem and 0, then we'll give it a position of relative, overflow of hidden, then we'll give it a background, we'll select the bg1, give it a position of absolute, top of minus 60%, then we'll give it a left of minus 5%. We'll give it a Z index of -1. We'll copy this, paste it, and this would be BG2. Position would be absolute. This would be bottom, and this would be phi rem. We don't need the Z index. We'll remove this. We'll have the bottom. No, not the bottom. We'll have the right of 0%. Let's check it. Yeah, they are in perfect position. Now we'll select the pricing title. We'll give it a margin of 6 rem to the top and bottom and 10 rem to left and right. We'll select the P. We'll give it a color of where secondary color. Then we'll give it a text transform of uppercase. We'll give it a letter spacing of 0.2 rem. This would be 0.2 rem. We'll have the H2 and the color would be where primary color. The font size would be 2 rem. Then we'll select the pricing. I'll give it a display of grid template columns of repeat 3 1FR. Then we'll have a padding of 0 and 10 rem. Then we'll select the plan, give it a display of flex direction of column. We'll give it align items of center, gap of 2 rem. Then we'll select the nth child, select the second, and select the pricing plan content and give it a padding of 5 rem to left and right. Then we'll give it a border left 0.2 rem solid where primary color. Copy this and we'll do this for the border right as well. Okay, so the borders are here. Then after this we have the name. We'll give it the background color as the primary color. Let me copy this from here. Background color, primary color. Then we'll give it a width of 15 rem, height of 15 rem as well. Let's give it a border radius of 10 rem to make it a circle. Then we'll give it a display of flex, justify content center, align items of center, a flex direction of column, and the color of where secondary color. That's it. Now we'll select the H2, give it a font size of 2 rem. The line height would be 1.3 rem. Then we have the price and we'll give it a color of white. Then we'll give it a display of flex position of relative, span, position of absolute, top of 1 rem, left of minus 0.9 rem, and a font size of 1.3 rem. Let's also select the P and give it a font size of 4 rem and give it a font weight of bold. Yeah, that's it. Now we have the content. Inside the content we have the features, we have the list style type of none, text align of center, then we have the color of where, primary color, give it a display of flex direction of column, gap of 0.6 rem, now let's have the line and we'll give it a text decoration of line through, then we'll give it a margin bottom of 2 rem. Let's select the actions, give it a display of flex direction of column, justify content of center, align items of center, color would be where, primary color, we'll have the gap as 0.5 rem, then we have span, text transform of uppercase. Okay, that's it. So our pricing section is also styled, it is complete. Now we will have this testimonials section. So let's head over to the VS Code, maximize this. Now let's head over to the testimonials.jsx. Now we are gonna import the styled. Then we will need the placeholder image. So we'll write import placeholder from assets placeholder dot png. We'll copy this, paste it 2 more times, and here we'll write the testimonial 1 and here we'll write testimonial 2. Then we'll create an style section, style.text section. We'll replace this with section, save it. Now we'll also import useState, and we are gonna create an state here, selected, set selected is equals to useState. This would be for the testimonial slider. Then we have testimonials. This would be an array of objects which would have data, designation, designer, name, Mary Underwood, review, write this afterwards. Paste it 2 more times. This would be developer. This would be Richard Gates. This would be planner. This would be Celine Oliveira. The name is from Money Heist. Now we will copy the text from here. That's it. So data is complete. Now we'll start the markup. First we have the background. Background would have image. SRC would be testimonial 1. Alt would be background design. Class name would be design 1. Copy this, paste this. This would be design 2. Testimonial 2. After this we have container that would have testimonials. Inside this we would have the testimonials.map. We'll destructure the designation, then name and the review. Also we need the index. We'll return the JSX. This would be testimonial. Let's cut this, have backticks, and we'll use string interpolation and check if it's the selected equals to index, then we'll have it the active class, or else we'll have it the hidden class. Now the content would be, first we also need to provide a key. All the map methods must have a key in React. Now we have image, we have circle 1, then we have circle 2. Inside the circle 2 we are gonna place the placeholder image, placeholder, and the alt text would be placeholder as well. We have the title container, then we have the span with class name as designation. This is testimonial. No, we just have to write the designation. Then after this we have h3 with class name of title. This would be name. Then after this div we have b with description. This has review. Then after this div we have another div with class name of controls. This would have 3 buttons. The class name would be selected. If selected triple equals to 0, then We'll have the active class name, or we don't want to give any class name. And on the click of this button, we want to set selected to the 0, which is the first testimonial. Now let's copy this and paste it here, and paste it here as well, and here we'll replace this with 1, and here we'll replace this with 2 and save it. Okay, so our markup is done. Yeah, that is here. Now let's style this. First we'll write overflow hidden, then we'll select the background, give it a position of relative, we'll select the design 1, give it a position of absolute, left of 0, height would be 35 rem, height 35 rem, then we have top of 10 rem. Now we have design 2, position absolute, right 0. That's done. Now let's select the container. We'll give it a min height of 100 viewport height. We'll give it a background color of where primary color. Then we'll give it a display of flex direction of column, justify content center, align item center, and we'll give it a gap of 2 rem. We'll select the testimonials, give it a display of flex, gap of 1 rem, text align of center. Instead of text align, let's write align item center. No, text align was better because it would be reusable. Then we'll write justify content of center and width of 30%. Now let's select the testimonial, give it a display of flex, gap of 1 rem. Also give it a flex direction of column and an align items of center. Select the image, give it a position of relative, circle 1, give it as a position of absolute, we'll give it a left of minus 0.7 rem, top of minus 0.7 rem, height of 10 rem, width of 10 rem, and we'll give it a border of 0.2 rem solid white. Also we'll give it a border radius of 10 rem. Circle is not visible yet. Did we make a mistake? Yeah, this is circle. The circle is there. Now we'll have to circle to display flex, justify content center, align item center, height 10 rem, width of 10 rem, give it a border radius of 10 rem as well, and we'll give it a background color of hexadecimal 8860E6B0. Save it. Yeah, that's perfect. Now whenever we have the hidden class, we want to give it a display of none. As you can see that our testimonials are working and it is also changing. We need to style this buttons now. Okay, give it a color of white. We'll select the designation and give it a color of where color where secondary color. We'll select the description, give it a height of 8 rem, height of 8 rem. We'll select the controls now, give it a display of flex, gap of 1 rem. Now we'll select the button. Initially we'll give it a padding of 0.5 rem and we'll give it a border radius of 1 rem. Background color would be the secondary color. Let's copy that from here. We don't need this. Then we also don't need border. We need the border, but it would be 0.1 rem solid transparent, and the other ones would have, the active one would have the border as white, no, as the secondary color. Yeah, let's select the active, give it a background color of transparent and border color of white. No, it should be where secondary color. Yeah, it is working now and our testimonials are completed. Now we will have the skills section. So now let's head over to skills.jsx. I'll import the styled and I'll import the skills 1 from assets, skills1.png. Copy this, paste this, and so base skills 2, skills2.png. Let's create the style section. Replace this with section and let's create the skills data. We have name and amount here. Copy this 3 times. No, 4 times. We need to copy it 4 times. This would be coding. This would be 50. React 90. Marketing 70. Design would be 30. Yeah, that's it. Now we'll write the markup. First we'll have the ID of skills, then we'll have the title. Title would be, value would be skills. Then we have the background. I'm going to copy that from testimonials. This would be skills 1. This would be skills 2. Class name would remain same. This would be skills design. That's all. Then we have the skill title, which would have our skills, and the H2 would have check our super awesome skills. After this we have the skills. Inside that we have skills bar. Now we are going to use the skills data dot map. We need the name and the amount. We're going to return the JSX. This would be div with a class name of skills bars bar. Inside that we will also provide an key with name, and the data would be, first we have class name of container. Inside that we have in progress. The value would be amount, and the max would be 100. Then we have the span, and the span has name as the inner content. Then after this div we are going to have an h3 with amount, and after that we'll write percentage. Then we have the skills content. We have the P with title. We have lorem 10 for the demo content. We will have description. And this would have lorem 25. Save it. That's done. So our markup is complete. You can see that we have our markup here. Now let's style it. Let me shrink this size. We'll have the min height of 100 viewport height. Height would be 100 viewport height. Sorry, it would be 140 viewport height. Then we have the background color of var secondary color. Then we'll select the background div. We'll give it a position of relative. We'll select the design 1, give it a position of absolute and a right of 0. We'll also give it a z index of 1. Then we'll select the design 2 and give it a position of absolute, left 0, z index 1, and we'll give it a top of 20 rem. That's it. Now we'll also select the site title. Select the H1, give it a color of white. We'll have the font size to 9 rem. Z index would be 2. Okay, that's done. Now let's select the skills title, give it a padding of 6 rem and 10 rem. select the P, give it a text transform of uppercase. Then we'll have the letter spacing of 0.2 rem. I think it's not applying. Let's give it a display of none. Yeah, there is no difference. Let me check if the class is correct. Okay, this is skills title. This is working now. Let's remove the display none. This is 0.2 rem. Color is where primary color. And we have the H2. Color is white. Font size would be 2 rem. This is color. Then we have the skills. Skills has display of flex, padding of 0.20 rem. Gap would be 10 rem. Then we'll select the bars. We'll transform it and rotate it by minus 90 degree. Transform, rotate minus 90 DEG. Okay, I don't think this is working. Skills and bars. Let's give it a display of none to check it if it's working. Yeah, we have issue with class skills bars. Now it's working. We'll give it a width of max content, height of max content, and a display of flex direction of column, and a gap of 4 rem. We'll select the bar, give it a display of flex direction of row reverse, and we'll give it a gap of 1 rem. Now we'll select the container. I don't think this is applying, so we'll write display of none to check it. Yeah, it's not applying. We have bars, inside that skills bars underscore bar. Okay, this is working now. Inside the container we have display of flex direction of column, and a gap of 2.5 rem. Then we have the span, text transform of uppercase, letter spacing of 0.2 rem. Color would be where primary color. Then we have the progress. Width would be 30 rem. We'll apply the WebKit appearance of none, and also the appearance would be none. Now we'll select WebKit appearance and give it a height of 3 rem. Then we'll give it a background color of white. Okay, this is not WebKit appearance, this is WebKit progress bar. Progress bar. Then after this, we just copy this and instead of bar, we'll write value and we'll close the bracket and we'll have the background color of var primary color. Yeah, that's it. So it's styled. Now let's have the H3 and transform, rotate 90°. Then we'll have color of white and a font size of 2 rem. Font size 2 rem. Then we have this content. Give it a display of flex direction of column and a gap of 2 rem. Color of white. Color of white. Z index of 2. We'll select the title. We'll give it a font weight of bolder. Give it a letter spacing of 0.1 rem. This is for this. Okay. So now let's fix its position. So we made a mistake. We have to write here padding instead of padding left, and for the title container also we have to write padding. Okay, that's it. So our skills section is completed. You can see that. Yeah, our skills section is complete. Now we are going to create this contact section. Head over to the contact.jsx. Now here we are gonna import the styled first. Const section is equals to styled.section. Replace this with section. Okay. We don't need any image in this, so we'll just write the ID and we'll have the title. Value would be contact. After this we have class name with contact. Inside that we have div with a class name of contact title. Inside that we have p that says stay in touch with us. Then we have h2. The contents are going to be copied from here. Then after this div we have another div with a class name of contact data. We have another div with contact data description. We have h4. Then we have p. we have another P, then after this we have an div, inside that we have P, inside that we have strong, inside address, content would be this, we'll copy this, paste it 2 more times, this would be email and this would be website. That's all. Then after this divs, we have another div with contact data form. We have input type of text. Then we have placeholder of name. We have another input type of email. Placeholder would be email. Then we have text area. We have the placeholder equals to message. After this we have button. That's also our markup is complete. We have to style this. Let me shrink this. First we'll give it a min height of 100 viewport height. Then we'll select the contact class. We'll give it a color of where primary color. Then we'll give it a margin of 0 and 23 rem. It's 23. Then we'll select the title. Give it a margin of top and bottom of 6 rem and left and right of 0. We'll select the P. Give it a text transform of uppercase. We'll give it a letter spacing of 0.2 rem. This is 0.2 rem. Then we have the color as, let's copy the color from here. And I don't think we have to apply the color because it's already applied in above. We'll select H2, paste that color, and instead of primary we can write secondary here, and we'll write font size of 2 rem. That's it. Now we have the data. We'll give it a display of grid, and we'll give it a grid template columns of 1 FR and 1.2 FR. Then we'll give it a gap of 4 rem. Then we have the description. We'll give it a display of flex direction of column, gap of 1 rem, H4 of font size 1.5 rem. Then we'll select the P and we'll give it a letter spacing of 0.1 rem. Now write text align of justify. Then we have div. Inside div we have P, inside that we have strong, and inside strong I want text transform to be uppercase. That's it. So this is style. We just have to style the form now. Now we have the form here. Let's switch the VS Code to this side. First we'll give it a display of flex direction of column, align items of center, gap of 2 rem. We'll select the input as well as the text area, give it a text transform of uppercase, border of none, border bottom of 0.1 rem solid, where secondary color. Then we'll give it a letter spacing of 0.2 rem. We'll give it a width of 100%. Then we'll give it a padding bottom of 0.7 rem. Then when we focus, we don't want any outline, so we'll give it outline none. Then we also need to change the placeholder color, so we'll write placeholder, and we'll write color as where secondary color. Let's copy this and paste it here. Also letter spacing would be 0.4 rem. So that's it. Now we'll have the text area. We'll give it a width of 100% and we'll mark it as important. We'll give it a height of 50% and we will disable the resize property. We don't want this marker. Then we have the button. Button would have width of 100%. Background color would be transparent. Border would be 0.1 rem solid, where secondary color. We'll give it a height of 3 rem. Color would be where secondary color. Then we'll give it a text transform of uppercase, letter spacing of 0.2 rem. We have the cursor pointer, then a transition of 0.5 second, is in out, is in out. Then when we hover over this, we want the background color to secondary color, and the color would be where primary color. Okay, so our form is also styled and our contact section is complete. All that is left to add the footer section now, so let's do that. So now let's head over to footer. I'll import the styled and I'll also import some icons for these social icons from React icons BS Hans. Then we need BS Facebook. Then we need BS Twitter and BS YouTube. Save it. Now let's create a style component. This would be foot. Replace this with foot. We have an span with content as ampersand copy, template created with love by Kishan Sheth. Then after the span we have div with footer social icons, and I'm gonna copy this from here, paste it, remove this, and that's it. Remove this again. I think we have an error. Yeah, I messed it up here. BS Facebook. Okay. Okay, it's done and our markup is ready. You can see that it's here. Now let's style it. We are gonna write background color of where, primary color, we'll give it a color of white, display of legs, justify content of space between, and give it a padding of 5 rem and 10 rem. This would be color. Now we'll style the social icons. Footer, social icons. Give it a display of flex, gap of 2 rem, SVG of font size 1.4 rem, cursor pointer, transition of 0.5 seconds is in and out. Then we have ampersand hover, color where secondary color, that's it. So our footer is also ready. So everything is complete. We have to add a scroll to top here now and the animations, and we just have to make this template responsive, and everything is complete. So now let's add the scroll to top. Let's head over to scroll to top. I'll import the styled. Then we will need an icon from React icons FA. This would be FA chevron up. This would be const div is equals to styled dot div. This would be the div. We need the use state. Now we'll create a state of visible and set visible is equals to use state of false. We'll add event listener on the window object. Whenever the user scrolls, we want to execute this function. If the page y offset size is greater than 100, we want to display the scroll to top logo, or else we want to hide it. So whenever you will scroll, this would be activated. Now let's use it here. We'll have ehref with hash. We have the class name, visible, block or none. Done. And inside this we will have the FA chevron up. Okay, so now let's style it. We'll give it a none of opacity 0 and visibility hidden, and the max width would be 100 viewport width. Now select the A and give it position of fixed. Bottom would have 40 pixels and right would be 40 pixels as well. Now we'll give it a background color of where secondary color, and will provide a padding of 1 rem, border radius of 100%, display of flex, justify content of center, align items of center, transition of 0.4 seconds is in out. We'll give it a Z index of 100. Select the SVG, color would be white. We have some error. It was working, but it is not working now. Where did it go? Let's uncomment all of this code and reduce the Z index to 1. Let's also give it a font size of 1.3 rem. So our scroll to top is here and it is working now, as you can see. So our scroll to top is complete. Now let's add the animations using framer motion. Now let's head to the use scroll. So what this use scroll will do, it is an react hook. Will create our custom react hook. So what this will do is this will help us in whenever the elements will be in the DOM, then the animation would restart. Let me show you what this is. So basically what this does is, now whenever any element is in DOM, now see this. So the animations are running again. So that is the use scroll hook. So we are gonna create that. So first we'll import use in view from React intersection observer. Then we'll import use animation from framer motion, and we'll export const use scroll with thresh is equals to 0.1 as default. This is the threshold value for the intersection observer. Then we'll create controls is equals to use animation. Then we'll create element, and view is equals to use in view with threshold value as thresh. Then if it is in view, then we'll have controls dot start method with show. Else we will have controls dot start hidden, and we are gonna return the element and the controls from this. That's it. Save this, and we don't need this file now. We can close this, and let's head over to the app.js. Here we'll import motion from framer motion, and we'll replace this both div with motion.div. Save it, and here we'll write initial is equals to hidden, and animate as show. This is the custom properties we are adding for the animation, and this would be propagated to all the components, so we don't have to write in all the components this. Now let's head over to home.jsx. Now here what we have to do is, first we are gonna import motion from framer motion. Then we will need the animations from animation. Now here this div would be converted to motion.div, and the ending would also have the motion.div. Here we'll write variants equals to home animations. We'll write transition equals to delay 0.3, duration would be of 0.6, and type would be of twin. Let's copy this, and inside the animation.js we will create this and export it. We'll export const home animation equal to hidden would have x would be minus 400 and the opacity would be 0, and show would have x as 0 and opacity as 1. So now after this we are gonna export const home info animation. Let me just copy this, paste it, and here the x would be 100 and x would be 0. That's all. Now inside here let me import the home animation and home info animation. Okay, that's all. Let's see if it's working. Yes, this animation is working now. Let's move on and create the same for others. So we'll convert this div to motion.div, and the closing div would be also the motion.div. Now we are going to copy this transition, paste it inside here, and we are going to give it a variance of home info animation. Save it, and yeah, that's working. Let's reload the page. Both the animations are working. Now let's do the animation for the navbar. Let's head over to the navbar.jsx. So inside the navbar we are gonna use the use scroll hook, import use scroll from components, use scroll. Then we need the motion from framer motion. Okay, that's all. And we'll also have the nav animation. Let's write the nav animation first. So we'll export const nav animation is equals to, let's copy this, paste it, and this would be y, this would be minus 20, and this would be 1, opacity of 0 and 1, that would be same. Now let's head over to the navbar.jsx. Now inside the navbar.jsx, first we are gonna use the use scroll hook, which will return element and controls is equals to use scroll. We will provide a ref here. Ref is equals to element. Also let's import the nav animation. Then we'll pass to variance. Okay, this has to be converted to motion.div first. So here at the bottom, what we'll do is this would be motion. We'll wrap this in a bracket. So this would be motion.nav. And now we will have access to all the properties here. Variance is equals to nav animation. Then we need the transition. transition would be delay of 0.1. Then we will animate based on controls. Okay, that's all. Let's test it. Yes, the navbar animation is working. This is also working. Now we have to create the animation for this services. So for that, let's head over to the services and let's first copy the use scroll and motion and all from here. Copy services, paste it, and let's also copy this elements and scroll, call it here, and instead of nav animation we are gonna import services animations. We'll copy this and inside the animation.js we are gonna create that. Let's head over to animation.js and we are gonna export const services animations is equals to, let's copy this, paste it. This should be y200 and y0, just that. Okay, now inside the services I think we need to pass the ref here. Yeah, we'll pass the ref here. Ref is equals to element. Then this would be motion.dev, motion.dev, and this would be also motion.dev. Now here, first we will pass the variants, that is services animations. Then we have the animate, which will pass the controls. Then we have the transition, that would be delay 0.03. Then we have the type twin, and we need the duration of 0.8. Save it. Let's check it if it's working. Yes, it is working. So that is done. Now we have to create animation for this portfolio. So what I'm gonna do is head over to animation.js first and create the animation for that first. So I'll export const portfolio animations equals to, copy this, paste it, and instead of this I'll write scale of 0 and scale of 1, just that. Now let's head over to portfolio.jsx. It's portfolio.jsx, and here first let's import motion, then use scroll and portfolio animations. Let's copy that use scroll from here. We'll pass the ref here, and we are gonna replace all of this devs inside the grid to motion.dev. You can select this by Control D. We'll write motion.dev, and now we'll select all the opening motion.dev, and what we'll do is we'll pass variance equals to portfolio animations. Then we'll have the animate controls, and the transition property would be delay of 0.03. Then type would be twin. Then we have duration of 0.8. Just save it and let's test it. Yes, the portfolio animations are working. Now let's do this for the milestones. Let's head over to animations.js and create the milestone animation. So milestone animations are same as the portfolio animations. So we'll copy this and paste it, and we'll just rename this to milestone animations. If you want to change the animation, you can just change the values from here. Milestones animations. Now let's go to milestones. We need the use scroll, we need the motion, and we need milestones animations. Let's head over to services, copy this, and inside the here we'll paste it. We'll pass this as ref element, and this would be converted to motion.dev. Will pass the variance milestone animations. Then we'll animate controls and we'll provide transition. Let's copy the transition from portfolio. It's the same. Copy and paste. That's it. Let's test it. Yes, this is working. Now let's do the blogs. For blogs, let's create the animation first. So we'll head over to animation.js, and for blogs animation, we'll copy this services animation, paste it, and just write blogs animation. Let's do one thing. Let's create all the animation first, so we don't have to come to this file again. After blogs animation, we have video animation, and that would be same as portfolio animations. Video animations. Then we have pricing animations, which would be same as blog animations. Pricing animations. Then we have testimonials animations, which would be same as video animations. Then we have contact animation, which would be same as pricing animation. Contact animations. And at the end, we have footer text animation, which would be, we'll just copy this blogs animation and write footer animations. and the y value would be minus 200, and when it's in view we want 1. Okay, that's it. Now let's head over to blocks.jsx, import the view scroll motion, then we need the blocks animation. Let's head over to milestones and copy this, paste it, we'll pass it here as the ref element. Now we'll have this as our motion.dev, motion.dev. Let's pass the variance. Variance is equals to blog animations. Then we'll pass animate controls. Then we'll pass the transition property, which would be copied from the portfolio. Done. Let's test it out. Yes, it's working. Now let's do the video animation. Just gonna copy this, head over to video.jsx, and I think we should have the animations on this tag. Yes, we will have the animations here. Let me turn this to motion.dev. Then this would be video animations, and let's have the use scroll. Let's copy the command from block.jsx for use scroll, paste it here, pass the ref. Done. Okay, motion is not defined, we need to import the motion. Yes, the animations are working for video. Let's do the same for pricing. We'll copy this, head over to pricing.jsx, the top, paste it. Now we are going to import use scroll, we are going to import motion, and we are going to import pricing animations. Now let's pass the ref. Then we need to pass motion.dev here. Close it with motion.dev. Let's copy the values from video.jsx. And this would be pricing animations. Save it. Yes, animations are working. Now let's do the same for the testimonials. Let's go to testimonials. convert this to motion.dev. Also, we are going to have this as motion.dev. We'll pass it here. Then instead of this, we need the testimonials animation. Save it. Let's copy this, paste it here, pass the ref, import the scroll. Then we need motion, and we are going to copy this scroll hook call from here, paste it here, save it. We run into an error. Okay, I need to close this div here. Okay, yeah, animations are working now. Let's do the same for skills. Head over to skills.jsx. First, we'll paste the paste it. Call the scroll, motion, and we also need the skills animations. I think we didn't create skills animation. Let's check it. Animation.js, footer animation, testimonial, pricing. Okay, for skills, we can reuse any of the animation. So let's create animation. I don't want to copy that. Let's head over to animations.js, and at the end, I'll export const skills bar animations. I'll copy this from here. Y0 and Y1. Simple as that. Let's head over to skills bar animations. Done. Pass the ref. And where are going to be write the motion.dev. Okay, in the map method here. Let's copy that from pricing.jsx. Let's test it. Okay, the skills animations are working. Now let's do the same for contact. Head over to contact.js6. Use scroll. Then we need motion. Then we also need a contact animation. Okay, let's pass the ref element. For the contact, we are going to have the motion.dev after the title, motion.dev. Let's paste that stuff here, and this would be contact animations. Now let's have the hook call. Copy this and paste it here. Let's go up, and yeah, the animation is working. All that is left is footer animation. Head over to footer.jsx, paste it, ref element. Let's copy from contacts.jsx. We paste that here, and we'll convert this to motion.footer. Let's import the view scroll, motion, and footer animations. Done. Let's test it. Yes, all the animations are working, and the footer animation is working as well. I think we need to change the footer animation. It should come from the bottom. We'll go to animation.js, footer animation. We write that, it should write 50. That's good. Yeah, that's looking smooth and good. Okay, let's remove this. Instead of this, let's remove this and just have the opacity. Yeah, that is looking more cleaner. Now we need to fix this extra scroll bar. We need to find it where it is coming from. But the animations are completed. I'll just find it. Give me a minute. Okay, so I have solved the issue. What you have to do is go to index.css and here change the overflow x property to initial. It would fix that. So yeah, that's it. We have added our animation. Let's make this template responsive. As you can see, this template is not at all responsive. We need to fix that. Okay, let's do that. Now let's head over to app.js first, and we are gonna disable all the components first, because that would get in the way and we won't be able to design perfectly the responsiveness. So we'll comment those out, and now let's head over to home.jsx, and we will also be commenting out this div and this div, this both div. Let's do the navbar first. We'll head over to navbar.jsx. You can see how does this looks now. Let's head over to home first and have the media query there. In the home, at the bottom, we'll add media, screen, and min width would be 280 pixels and max width would be 1080 pixels. So now let's copy this media query. I think we don't need anything in here. Yeah, we don't need anything here. Let's go to navbar.jsx and we're going to paste that media query there. Let me shrink this so you can see. First, we'll have the margin as 0, position as relative, then we'll select the brand container, go to display of flex and justify content of space between, align items of center. I think you might not be able to see that. Let me go to home.jsx and uncomment this. If you can see, yeah, now it's visible. Okay, let's comment this again and go to navbar.jsx. After this, we'll give it a width of 100%. We'll select the brand, no, not the brand, we'll select the toggle. It's toggle. We'll have the padding right 1 rem, display of block, set index of 1. Then we'll have the show, we'll have the opacity of 1, important. After this, we have the visibility of visible, and that would be important. Then we have the links, position absolute, overflow X would be hidden. Then we'll have top of 0. Let's do one thing, select the UL and give it a flex direction of column so you can see things. Yeah, you'll be able to see things now. Top 0, right 0, and we'll provide a width based on state. If the state is true, we are going to have it 60%, or else we are going to have 0. This is right. Okay, we missed something. Yeah, it's good to go. Now we'll have the height as 100 viewport height. You might not be seeing anything now, but we are going to fix that in a minute. We are going to give it a background color of where secondary color. Give it an opacity of 0, visibility of hidden, then we'll also provide transition of 0.4 seconds is in out. That's done. Now let's add the toggles here. Also we'll pass the state here. State is nav open. If it is, we'll pass 1 or 0. Now we'll also have inside this, and will conditionally render is nav open. We need md close, or else we need gi hamburger menu. Save it. We'll copy this from here and paste it here. Let's import it again. Gi hamburger menu and paste it here. Yeah, it's here. So we just have to pass the on-click listeners now. We'll pass here the on-click. On-click. Set is now open to false. And on-click. We'll set is now open to true. We'll also have the event here, and we'll stop the propagation by e.stop propagation. Okay, we need to still work on it. Now is our on-click working? Let's have a console. Okay, our console is not working. So now what we have to do is, I'll just remove this console. We don't need it. Remove it, and we have to pass z-index as 1. Reload it. Okay, the icon is changing. Now we'll also have this dynamic link here, and we'll convert this to backticks. And here what we'll do is, if the nav is open, we are gonna have the show class, or so that's all. Now we'll test it. Yeah, it is working. We still need to fix this, but it is working, the responsive nav. Now let's head over to end again, and now we have to give text align center. Remove this, text align center. and a height of 100% and justify content to center. Yeah, let's reload it. Yeah, this looks good. Perfect. So navbar is completed, responsive navbar. Now let's head over to home.jsx and uncomment this uncomment this code. So it is here. Now let's write the responsive code. We'll have the home. So now inside the home, we will select the content. We'll give it a padding left of 2 rem. Then we'll give it a width of 100%. We'll give it a margin bottom of 2 rem. We'll select the title, select the H1, give it a font size of 4 rem and a line height of 4 rem as well. Now after this, we'll select the info, give it a position of initial, and we'll select the grid and grid template columns of 1FR. Yeah, so our home is completely responsive now. Now let's head over to app.js and uncomment these services. Head over to services.jsx. Let's head over to home.jsx and copy the media query. Head over to services.jsx. Paste the media query. Let's see. Yeah, we need to fix some things here. Let's head over to title first. We can use the media query there. We'll have display none to title. Done. Let's head over to services again, and in these services what we do is we'll select these services, give it a margin of 2 rem to top and bottom and 0. This should be curly braces. We'll select the grid template columns to 1FR, gap to 2 rem and a padding of 0 and 2 rem. Yeah, that's all. Okay, the services is completed. After that, what do we have? We have the portfolio. Let's uncomment that and head over to portfolio.jsx, and inside that let's go to end, paste the media query. First, we don't need the background. We'll write background and display of none. Then we'll select the portfolio title and give it a margin of 0, padding of 0 and 2 rem. We'll give text align of center. So we'll select H2 and give it a font size. You may not be able to see it here, but it is here, 1.5 rem. Okay, that's done. Now let's select the grid, give it a padding of 2 rem and 4 rem. Okay, The grid is pretty messed up. Now we'll give it a grid template columns of 1FR. And we'll define grid template areas. That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all. Yeah, this is good. Now we'll fix the height. We'll select the grid box. We'll give it the height of 10 rem. Important. Save it. Yeah. So portfolio is complete. Now head over to app.js and uncomment this milestones.jsx. Let's head over to milestones.jsx and paste the media query here. And here, what can we do? Let's first see the issues we are facing. Yeah. Okay. So first we'll reduce the padding. Padding would be 5 rem and 2 rem. Then min height would be 100 viewport height. We'll give it the height of 100%. Select the background and we'll provide display of none. Then we'll have the milestones. We'll give it a grid template columns of 1FR and a gap of 5 rem. Yeah, so this is also styled. Now what do we have next? We have this block section. Let's uncomment it. Go to block.jsx and here let's see. Okay, paste the media query and first we'll reduce the margin. Then we don't need the decoration. Display none. Then select the blocks and give it a grid template columns of 1FR. Margin should be 0, 1 rem. And yeah, it's here. Let's add some padding. Padding would be 0 and 2 rem. Okay, this looks good. So blocks is also complete. Yeah, that's good. Now let's head over to app.js, video, head over to video.jsx. Here, what will we do? Okay, we need to fix the iframe height. Paste the media query. First, we don't need the background in the responsive mode. Display none. Get a height of 100%. Select the video iframe, height of 10 rem. Height of 10 rem and the width of 80 viewport width. Yeah, that's good. Now let's add some padding. 6 rem, 2 rem. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, that's all for this. Now let's head over to app.js and comment pricing. Head over to pricing.jsx, and inside this, we're gonna have to paste this, and we're gonna have to do many things here. First, we'll reduce the padding to 1 rem. Then we'll give it a background color of where secondary color. Then we'll select the pricing title and give it a margin of 0, padding of 0 and 2 rem. Then we can also give it a text line of center. Then we'll select the H2 and reduce the font size to 1.3 rem. Yeah, that's good. Now we don't need the background, so we'll give it a display of none. Then we'll select the pricing. We have the grid template columns of 1FR. Padding would be 1 rem. Then we'll have a gap of 4 rem. Yeah. Okay, something broke here. I don't know what. Let's refresh this. And this errors, you can ignore these errors. These are nothing. Yeah, it's working. Now let's select the plan. Give it a display of flex, flex direction of column, align items of center, and a gap of 2 rem. Now let's select the name. Give it a height of 10 rem, width of 10 rem as well. Yeah, it's good. Now let's select the H2, reduce the font size to 1.5 rem. Let's select the price P and the font size to 3 rem. Yeah, it's looking good. Now let's select the nth child and remove these borders. We don't need that. Nth child, it would be 2. Pricing plan content, padding of 0, and we don't need any borders. That's all. Yeah, it's looking good. So our pricing is also completed. Now let's head over to app.js, uncomment testimonials, head over to testimonials.jsx. At the end, paste the media query, and here let's see what we can do. Okay, first we don't need the background display of none. Then we'll select the container, reduce the padding to 4 rem and 0. Also we'll select the testimonials, give it a width of 80%. We'll select the testimonial. Inside that we have the description, and we'll give it a height of 18 rem. That's it. Okay, so the testimonials are also completed. Now head over to app.js and comment skills, head over to skills.jsx. At the end, we are going to paste the media query. Let's see what we can do here. First, we have to disable this backgrounds. We need to do many things here. First, we'll have overflow x of hidden. Then we'll give it a padding of 2 rem and 0. Then first let's disable the background, display none. Let's style this title first, skills title, padding 2 rem, text align center, h2 font size would be 1.5 rem. That's it. Select the skills, we'll give a padding of 0, then give it a flex direction of column, then align items of center, justify content of center, and a gap of 1 rem. Save it. Then we'll select the bars, and give it a padding of 0.2 rem, gap of 0, align items of center, justify content of center. We'll select the bar, container, give it a gap of 1 rem. Okay, semicolon. Select the progress, give it a width of 12 rem, height of 0.5 rem, and WebKit progress bar height would be 0.3 rems. Yeah, that's it. We'll select the H3, give it a font size of 1 rem. Yeah, progress bars are completely styled. Now we'll select the content and give it a padding of 0 and 2 rem. That's it. So let's have the height here, height max content. Yeah, that is also fixed. Now let's head over to app.js and uncomment this contact and footer both. No, just uncomment the contact. Head over to contact, paste the media query, and what can we do here? Okay, first we'll select the contact, we'll give it a margin of 1 rem. Yeah, it's visible now. Then we'll give it a padding of 0 and 1 rem. Then we'll select title, margin of 0, text align of center, P would be font size of 0.8 rem, H2 would have font size of 1.3 rem. We'll select the data, grid template columns of 1FR. Then we'll give it a margin of 0. Then we'll select the P and text align left. Now let's select the form, and the button would have a height of 6 rem. That's all. Yeah, it's looking good. Now all that is left is footer. Let's uncomment that, head over to footer.jsx, and let's paste the media query at the bottom. Let's see the footer first. Yeah, we'll reduce the padding to 1 rem, flex direction of column, text align of center, and a gap of 1 rem. Okay, it's not coming. Yeah, it is here. Let's reload this. Okay, we also need to have this at the center. We'll write justify content center. Instead, we'll write align item center. Yeah, now it's working. We'll keep this text align center. Yeah, that's all. So you can see that our app is completely responsive now. The animations are also working fine with the responsive mode. Yeah, that's all. Let me give you a final demo of it. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you. See you next time.